The opinions expressed in this program reflect only those of the participants and are not necessarily those of the sponsors, management, or staff of WTBQ Radio or FST Broadcasting Corporation.
WTBQ. Hey, good morning again. It's Taylor. I know you're tired of hearing from me. Well, too bad. So I'm going to let you introduce your guest, Samara?
Yes.
Okay, I want to make sure I get that right. Samara Enders.
Yes.
From Greystone. And you have two guests with you this morning, so go ahead and introduce them and their titles and what they do with the organization. Then we'll talk a little bit about what the organization does.
Sure. So today we have with us Tracilyn, Assistant Executive Director. Tracilyn, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. My name is Tracilyn Vaticano. I am the Assistant Executive Director of Programs. I work with the residential day services employment divisions within Greystone, so I have the opportunity to touch a lot of folks through our amazing programs that we offer at Greystone.
And why do you choose to work for Greystone?
Why do I choose to work? It's an amazing organization with a lot of heart and soul, and I've worked a few places in my, almost 28 years in the field, and I would not work anywhere else. So it is full of all the right things in a very difficult field where we support people in the most important parts of their life. So,
and that's people who have special needs and disabilities, etc.
Yes, Greystone works with individuals with autism and other developmental disabilities.
Okay, just to let people know.
Sure.
All right, I'll let you introduce the gentleman here.
Sure. We also have Julius Jones. He is one of Greystone's board members of many years. Julius, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes. Yeah, I'm Julius Jones, member of the board of directors. I've been part of Greystone for about 21 years. Came to the Hudson Valley in 1968, taking a position in engineering at IBM. And about 21 years ago, somebody gave me a call and wanted to know was I interested in being on the board of Greystone. And I'd been involved in a lot of other organizations, but I thought the people that Greystone basically serves, I thought were an important group of people for me to take some of my skills and try to at least contribute to their well-being.
Now, did you go to engineering school for that?
No. I went to engineering school, after high school, and then designed computers for IBM for 30 years or so. Right?
In the heyday, right?
In the heyday, yep.
Yeah. What school did you go to?
I went to the University of Mass. It's called University of Mass at Lowell. It was called Lowell Technological Institution.
Sure.
When I went.
The owner of the station went to Clarkson Engineering, so you know that too.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that engineering mind. And usually people with an engineering degree are very musical. There's something with music and math. I don't know what it is.
I'm an exception.
See? Well, we'll see about that. So I'm curious, what brought you to Greystone?
It turned out I have a daughter who has disabilities, and I got a call from the then board president, and I'd worked with her husband, and she heard that I was thinking about retiring, and what happened was knew I was involved in other organizations, so she made a call to me wanting to know was I interested in being a board member. I thought about it for a night or two, and I said sure, and 21 years later, I'm still on the board.
History,
yep.
Right? Yeah, they're addictive, I think, right?
Yep.
Because you do the things that are so necessary. And, I worked with Deb Major, and I was on her board for a long time. Still, I just actually got an email. We're very good friends now. And so the community that we're speaking of was very misunderstood for many years. Many years ago, like you had at Willowbrook, we don't know how many people with autism or Asperger's were in there because they misdiagnosed people. Today, it's a whole different world, and we're so thrilled about it and so thrilled to educate people. And I think that's one of the things that Greystone does best, right, Samara?
Absolutely. We have just actually opened up a new house so we can help more people in our community, and it's called Grants Path. Tracilyn, do you want to speak a little bit about Grants Path and the individuals?
It's really exciting. This week, actually, we're moving in the last 3 people. So it will be home for 6 individuals. Opportunity, they've moved out of residential programs. Hopefully into their forever home.
So it's like independent living?
It's a home that you're going to drive by and say, wow, that's a beautiful house. I'd love to live there. And then it happens to be a group home for 6 people. So it is within the community and Dutchess County. They moved from residential programs where they were living for a few years, and this is their forever home until they want to live somewhere else.
Now, do you help them find vocation and jobs? You training?
Sure, whatever they're most interested in. Last night I was over at the house, and one of the young men that lived there, Ryan, told me he doesn't want to go to school anymore. He's done with school. And I asked him if...
I know the feeling.
Yeah, I said the same thing. He said, and then he came back to me and he said, but I'd like to get a job. Do I have to go to school? And I said, you don't need to go to school to get a job, but would you like to go to school for a little bit of time? Maybe I could take one class at a time. So, it's whatever interests each person. And, he's got a great future. We're very excited to have the opportunity to be a part of this chapter.
Now, do you
with him.
partner up with corporations and companies?
For employment opportunities?
Yes.
Absolutely, whatever we can. So certainly anybody that's listening now that's interested in giving us an opportunity, you said it before, so many of the people we support have not had the opportunity to get their foot in the door. Every one of us has had a job where somebody's known somebody. Julius talked about getting onto the board, because somebody knew him and gave him that chance. So it's the same thing for the people we support. If they have an opportunity to get their foot in the door, meet people, see what their skills are. This young man that I'm speaking of, he's got so many, he's phenomenal. We do COVID screenings before anybody walks in the house, and I said, well, we should really have him do the COVID screenings. He's, we give him the parameters, tell him exactly what questions he has to ask. He's great with a computer. He'd be amazing at that.
Yeah, I noticed that when I was with the Xylophone, that the young people there are just like savants in a sense. She had one gentleman, Daniel, who headed up the art class for them. He was incredible, and the artwork was incredible.
Yeah.
So I think people need to look past things. I remember a little person said, I love it when children come over and ask me why I'm so small, because that's genuine. Mm-hmm. And the same thing with anything else. Find out what it is and then, deal with it. I just think that people don't have enough education about this, and that's why I think Greystone's important, not only for the people you serve, but for those who aren't really aware of all the abilities people have.
Absolutely. I think the people we support are more like us than they're not like us, and I think that's it for humanity in general. So if we start seeing people as humans and people first, disability second, that's
a
really
good tag.
important.
People first, disability second. I like
it's
that.
It's a part of who somebody is. I don't think it defines people. And I know there are some people with autism that do define themselves by their diagnosis, and that is absolutely certainly their right, and I respect that tremendously. A lot of the people we support, though, have been put into a place that's not always positive because of their disability. So we like to look at them as a person first. And disability is a part of who they are. Doesn't define who they are.
It would be interesting to have them do, like years ago with my son, I used to have him, when he had a decision to make, I would give him a piece of paper with a line drawn down the middle with pros on one side, cons on the other, for anything. And I used to say to him, it doesn't matter if the pros outweigh the cons. It depends on once you look at it, what your decision is. Mm-hmm. And I think it would be fun for them to do it, to see if, maybe piano playing or, whatever it may be is on, they didn't even think of that before, and they put it down. So it's something maybe new that they want to discover. It's an interesting group of people that you learn so much from.
I think we're so fortunate, and I'm so fortunate to work with people that you do every day. You take something from that experience. And, the staff that were at the house last night, I left a little bit after dinner, and they're just, I said to them, "Are you happy?" They're brand new to Greystone. I said, "Are you happy being here? How do you like things so far?" And there was just such a genuine, I love my job. I love what I do. I had a great time. Do you know what happened last night? I didn't even know that this happened, and they were just,
they were excited to share it with you.
They're excited to be a part of that person's chapter, which is really, that's what we want. We want people that work with us that are excited at the opportunity.
Yeah, at the joy of seeing the joy in others, really. Mm-hmm. We're going to go to our break, and when we come back, we're going to have more about Greystone. And if you're interested and have a comment or a question, you can text us at 845-328-0886. We'll be right back.
Greystone Programs is an organization whose mission is dedicated to providing quality support for children and adults with autism and other special needs with respect, integrity, and compassion. Greystone offers many services to those with disabilities and has group homes in Orange, Ulster, and Dutchess counties. To learn more and to see how you can help, visit greystoneprograms.org.
This is Rocket Richie, the play-by-play guy.
The only place you can listen live to Warwick Wildcats football
Is right here on WTBQ.
Brought to you by Penning's Farm Market and Cidery, the Warwick Car Wash, and the Minturn Bridge Food Truck Park.
WTBQ.
And we are back here on Greystone on the Nonprofit Notebook. And we're talking about everything to do with Greystone. Now, you have many different programs there, right?
Absolutely. We even have some programs right here in Warwick where some of our individuals go during the day to learn new skills and get to interact with other individuals. Tracilyn, do you want to? You're stopping there right after this.
Yeah, I am stopping. We actually have a residential program in Warwick as well as our day services program. So it's a great opportunity.
Is it age prerequisite there? They have to be like 18 and over?
We actually have two programs. We have an after-school program for the younger kids. They come after their school day in the afternoon, and that starts typically about 4 o'clock. And then we have a day services program, which is more traditional programming that's done after somebody's usually aged out of school. So
Right.
after the age of usually 21, 22.
So, because we broadcast to the entire Orange County and northern New Jersey, let me know in other areas where you have similar setups.
Orange County those are our programs in Orange County. We have another residential program in Orange County and Monroe. And then in Dutchess County, we have an after-school program. We have a Without Walls day program. A lot of volunteer work is done there, so a lot of Meals on Wheels. We have a flower recycling program that actually works in Orange County and Dutchess County. So if there's any businesses out there that has extra flowers, please let us know. We like to upcycle them. So we feel
Flowers?
Did
you ever contact these venues that have weddings and things?
We have, I don't think that everybody always understands what we're looking to do. So, it's all the extra flowers, right? So whether it's a funeral, a wedding, good celebrations, not so positive celebrations.
There's a lady that I'm very friendly with, Flowers by Lisa in Pine Island, and she's a good friend of mine, and I'm going to mention that to her.
Great. Yeah, we pick them up, we upcycle them, we put them, we let the individuals certainly they are a part of arranging them, and then we deliver them to nursing homes, shelters,
That's
any place
wonderful.
that would benefit from them. And it's, there's so many skills that you learn through that whole experience. So it's a real hands-on positive opportunity.
So I hear like an incredible passion for this from you. So what got you into Greystone? Where were you prior to that?
Oh, it's a funny. I worked in Queens for many years in this field. I graduated college. I'm from upstate.
What college did you go to?
I went to SUNY Fredonia.
Okay,
So
I
Western
went
New
to
York.
Queens College.
Okay. I grew up outside of Buffalo, so I was in SUNY Fredonia, and then I moved down to Long Island and worked in Queens for many years.
Where on the island were you?
Smithtown, Central Islip.
Oh yeah, I think you need a passport to go there. It's so far away.
It's a bit. And I used to commute on the LIE every day, sitting in traffic really. To Queens and to Brooklyn, and I worked for that organization for about 10 years. Learned a lot of great skills. Found myself in the residential world of individuals with developmental disabilities, and that's kind of where I've found my niche. I did quality assurance for a while and training, which I loved. I always wanted to be a teacher when I was a kid, so that's also fed that.
This is teaching.
It's all teaching, yeah. It is, whether it's working with staff or the people we support. So. And then I moved more upstate and found my way into a couple organizations that were amazing in Westchester and Orange County. And then I got the opportunity to work at a luxury pet resort.
Where is there a luxury pet resort up here?
In Middle Hope. Oh, really? And they are amazing.
Some of them are so great. I want to stay there.
They are. That is an amazing one. So I had the opportunity to work with them for a couple years, and then Greystone, this current CEO, Skip Price, was taking over the helm, and I had known him almost 20 years prior in Queens. And so I took the opportunity to come on board at Greystone, got back into the field. And
how many years are you there now?
It'll be 7 in December. Yeah. So
flew by, right?
It has flown by. We've 4 houses we've opened, and a flower recycling program, and a few other initiatives. So.
Love the idea of the recycling program.
Yeah.
And we couldn't do all this without the work of our direct support professionals too.
Yeah.
And this week actually happens to be DSP week, which is it's nationwide.
National.
What
yeah.
does that stand for?
So it's direct support professional, and they are the staff that are caring for our individuals daily and nightly. So this is the week where we recognize them beyond what we recognize
like
them.
caregivers for people, in a sense.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they do. You know, we've really at Greystone we've really tried to move away from the medical model of caregiving, right? So these guys are they wear so many hats. They're incredible, and they don't get paid or recognized as nearly as much as they should. But they are, you know, they're the teacher, like we talked about. So they're teaching and they're guiding and they're coaching and they're counseling and they're doing hands-on assistance or helping somebody in the shower, helping somebody learn toileting skills, helping that young man I spoke about learn, you know, does he want to go work at a pizzeria? Does he want to work on his weight loss goal? And, you know, is his Fitbit charged? And how does he do that? And everything in between, you know, and they do that during a snowstorm, and they do that when the hurricanes hit, and they do that when COVID happens. And the last year and a half, it's to see people, they're incredible.
So how does it get funded? How does Greystone get funded? Is it public and private?
We're Medicaid funded, so federally and state funded, yeah. So in all the extra stuff that we do, which is where the LEAP comes in, because our funding only covers our operating expenses. So all the extra things that we do.
So you have fundraising there in order to support.
We do.
And I think that's where Julius comes in, right? Are you involved in any of the fundraising?
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure.
I think we look at it as fundraising as a very important part of the organization, and it provides what we consider the extra things that the state may not fund. I'll never forget, I took a trip to see Tracilyn in Wappinger Falls, and they had an art therapy class going on. And the thing that you could see the joy in the faces of the people that were there, right? And when you see that joy, you know that the time you spent helping to raise money was well worth it.
Yeah,
And that's
contagious, that joy.
Yeah, and that's something that Leap for Autism, that's our annual fundraising event, which this year is October 2nd, and that art program is something that the proceeds will benefit from this event.
Now, tell us what that is and how people can get involved in that.
Sure. So Leap for Autism, it's a skydiving event where you physically
No, thank you. I'll just
leap
donate.
for autism.
No.
Tracilyn
This is
actually
as
came
high
up-
as I want to be.
There is a place for you in this event. You'll hear.
Yes.
I can announce.
So besides there being besides you physically also leaping for autism, there's also a virtual leap.
Oh,
where
that
you
I can do.
You can keep your feet on the ground. Julius participates.
He and I will be there.
Yes. That's in Gardiner, New York, so right here in Orange. And Tracilyn actually came up with the idea 5 years ago from her own experiences. Do you want to speak
Well, that was
on
a funny-
that?
yeah.
So it's Tracy we need to Tracilyn we need to blame for this.
Yep.
right?
No, well, Julius too, and Rich. Julius too. Yeah, no, it was. Gosh, we missed last year, so this would have been our 6th year. Sorry,
Yeah.
it would have been our 6th year. I had a friend who went on a date and went skydiving and sent me a picture.
Did she ever go out with him again?
No, I don't think so.
so.
No, and,
She left him as he was dropping.
Yeah, it was funny. I think I still have that photo. She's like, "Look what I did." So.
Now you see him, now you don't?
Yeah. she has not been with him since, but no. So I decided I kind of gave her, I wanted to do that. How come you didn't wait for me? And my sister, her and I we went one day, and then we had an event at a local brewery in Wappingers Falls that's not around anymore. And one of my coworkers, Rich, had started introducing me around and said, "Oh, this is Tracilyn. She jumped out of a plane today." And most people said, unlike you, Taylor, most people said, "Oh, I've always wanted to do that. I've always wanted to." And
Not
I said,
me, never on my
not
bucket
you.
list.
You would not have been there. You wouldn't have been that.
No.
So, but a few people did, and I asked if they would be interested in if it was something that they could do for a good cause, and most people said, "Yeah, maybe." So we tossed it around, and then we had a board meeting and Mike Denick, who's not with us anymore, one of our previous board members, had posed a question. We should come up with another fundraising idea. And Skip, who's our CEO, looked at me and was like, all right, say it. And I said it, and there was silence, absolute silence for
That would
a
have been
minute.
one of mine, silence.
And Julius's face looks exactly like you guys on the radio cannot see his face right now, but his face, he just had his eyes closed, and he was very quiet. And then he let out the biggest laugh you've ever heard, and Julius's laugh is contagious. And I think he or Mike said, somebody said they would push them, who was going to push who out of the plane
Yep.
first?
But Mike would push me out.
Yes.
There's a friend.
And and Julius has been a tremendous supporter from the very beginning, that day, that board meeting, and said, this could be a big thing. And
What year is this that you're doing this?
we skipped COVID last year, so this will be our fifth.
The fifth year. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a suggestion, because I used to do a lot of, I didn't do the fundraising part, but I produced the event around it. So one of the things we did is because we have a lot of property in Orange County, and we set up like a kind of the old time dunking machine, a clown, all the stuff that you see at the boardwalk. And the skee ball, all those things.
Yeah.
And you pay like a certain amount, you donate depending on what you do. And it was so popular, we even hired a magician for that day to be on this little stage we set up. They had a ball, they got to bring their kids, the whole family were involved. This was a huge one, so this, I'm telling you, do it this way, because it was for Fannie Mae, so there were about 5,000 people there.
Wow.
But, this can be done on a smaller level locally. It could be a ball, you can have, like an intuitive medium there, and, it's really, you can make it so much fun and raise a lot of money, because people, to do these things and to make fun of other people, they'll pay for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I love a dunk cake.
We'd pay for
you.
Julius, right?
Yep.
But yeah, it's a great family event. I mean, the whole day is, we have a barbecue truck, we have the grill
that's
wagon
great.
that comes, and we have a DJ.
You
and
have a guy up there, Handsome Devil, who does some.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's award-winning.
Yeah.
He actually did a nonprofit for us here. He brought the truck and made up something special.
That's nice. Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah, I had his food for the first time a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's a nice guy too. He does a lot for charity as
Yeah.
well. But everything is food trucks now.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Thanksgiving I may have a food truck instead
great,
of cooking.
Yeah, the grill wagon, Joel is who's been with us. He's been supporting us since the beginning of this event. So he'll come back again this year
That's
to
great.
support it. And we have a DJ and we have virtual skydiving.
Do you have like a beverage thing, like a beer truck?
We
Yeah.
do. We also have Obscure Oscillation Brewery. They'll be
Oh, what a cute
serving-
name. I like that.
Yes, they'll be serving some beers, which will be nice too. So for anybody interested in leaping or joining the event, what they need to do is it's a peer-to-peer fundraising event. And to be eligible to leap, you need to raise with your friends or family at least $500. And then the more you raise, the more incentives there are for different prizes and what you will receive for your leap. So if you wanted to...
How can they reach you? Because we have about a minute left.
Sure, Julius, do you want to...
Well, you can go to the Greystone website, right? And
Absolutely.
Or you can take your search engine and type in Leap for Autism 2021. And if you want to support the organization, you can support Greystone directly, or you could sign up for Tracilyn, you'll see her name, to support her. Any amount, $1, we'll take $1. We'll take any amount, right? Or you can, if you'll see Julius there, you can basically sign up from myself, and you could be a virtual skydiver.
Yeah, you should join our
could-
Virtually, I can do anything you want.
Join our team.
We've run out of time, but I want to thank you all. So great to have you here. So much good information. And if you want more information, spell Greystone quickly.
It's greystoneprograms.org, and that's Greystone, Grey Stone.
So there you go. And they will be back next month, but you can always reach them or email me. I'm happy to share the info. Thanks so much. We'll
Thank
be
you.
right back.